The tech industry has witnessed an unprecedented surge in demand for skilled professionals who can bridge the gap between technology and creativity. Careers like product designing, motion designing, and UI animation have emerged as exciting and lucrative options for those who possess a passion for design, innovation, and problem solving. Now, joining us to discuss this is a product designer, motion designer, and UI animation specialist, Oyinloluwa Adedoyin, to talk about opportunities in the tech industry. Good morning. It's good to have you join us.
Good morning. Thank you for having me. It's such an interesting topic and conversation to have this morning. Absolutely.
When you look at data as of 2023, it is reported that 5.128% of youth in Nigeria were unemployed. But between then and now, one would have said that perhaps a majority of them have taken opportunities in the tech industry to grow and, get themselves gainfully employed. But from your perspective, what has been the situation?
Yeah, so truthfully, about 60% of average Nigerians, right, are youths. And a large percentage of them are like between the age of 16 to about 24 at 28, let's say 28, right? And technology has been able to, be a good source of employment for the newer generation now than ever before.
Okay, you seem to be a very busy young man. You are a product designer, a motion designer, a UI animation specialist. That sounds like Greek to me. Could you tell me what you do? And let's see if it will interest one young person that's watching the program right now.
All right, so motion design, product design, and UI animation specialists, they are all around the creative and design industry in technology, right? And over time, design has evolved from just being the traditional digital screens, the ones we see on a filling station, to, we now having to use technology and digital technology and innovation in our homes, on our platforms, on softwares, right? And, most of these things are being designed and being put to work through the use of design, which evolved from product design to motion design. And, UI and motion animation specialists are like the people that put this thing together and make this thing work, right? So we're in charge of creating, designing these screens, these day-to-day apps you use, right? And we are the ones that design them generally, if that makes sense.
It does make sense.
It does make sense.
And to not think of youth being 70%, in Nigeria, and you have a lot of them who are tech-driven, but most of them are working with private organizations. But the thing is, you're doing a whole lot, as my colleagues had mentioned. But we have some people who are doing a whole lot too, but the first thing they want to think about is, yes, I've grabbed this opportunity, this knowledge, I want out of this country, contributing to the brain drain that we have. How do you think the government can come in to ensure that policies on the ground are in tandem with the skill set that our people have, technological-wise?
Yeah, thank you for this question. So, tech has been like a very good equalizer than ever before. When you look back to the 18th century, to the 19th century, and the 20th century, the 21st century we have now has shown us that, we need to move into technological innovations, right? We need to focus less on Nigeria as a country being not just a oil-focused growth company, right, country, but rather we expand into other forms of technological innovations, right? Not just as a consumer, but as a creator. And with the use of tech, with the advancement of tech, we could prepare and, get ready for what tech is. Tech is actually now, not the future. Tech is here already. We use tech now than ever before. Our youth are now being able to use tech to earn, which it's improving day to day than ever before. And, there are a lot of technological tools and apps in different sectors of the economy, like education, edtech technology, where every child, irrespective of wherever rural area they might be, they are able to, connect with technologies for education, right, and learn, which thereby is creating like equalizer for the whole economy as a whole, right? You could be in a rural area and still learn as much as you would in a urban area with the advance of technology, not to mention other sectors aside education.
Quickly now, because of our time, I know if we ask you, you would say that perhaps you're doing remote work and all of it, but talk to us about how the impact of remote work, how it has had its impact on young Nigerians, giving them tech opportunities, and how that is also curbing unemployment, as well as how we can also position ourselves as a country as a tech hub in the African space as well as globally.
So technology is like the biggest preparation we could do for the future, right? Because lately we could see that things are really evolving. Now there is AI and automation, right? And to prepare for, the brighter opportunities that technology is going to expand and position the country into, we need to put things in place, right? We need to start to, make young ones and young adults get themselves familiarized with technology, right? Putting them in boot camps and training and mentorships around things, like coding. Put children into maybe not totally let them start coding, right? But let them be around the environment and understand things that, okay, this is coding, this is robotics, right? And they can grow with this curiosity, right, over time.
Okay, quite interesting. There are quite a number of young people that want to do what you do right now, but they don't have the opportunities. That's one side of my consideration. The other side is that we have a lot of curious young Nigerians that want to delve into the tech world and do not know how. Could you advise on what they should do and get them the opportunity to do what has always been in their minds to do?
Yeah, this is such a very interesting question because personally, from my experience, if someone had told me I'll be doing tech today, I would probably said no, because I started off my working or career generally in photography. But over time, I've been able to evolve and transition into tech fully based on the opportunities and position I've been able to leverage into, right? So NYSC 1 was like a very big deal breaker for me. It was one thing that opened me into tech. And the COVID to really just helped me to, foster my learning and process it into tech, right? So for anyone hoping to get started, I would advise, you look out for events, right? You listen to these things, you digest this information. You are very inquisitive, about knowing what these things are, what they are being used for, and which part of tech you want to go in. Because tech is generally wild. There's the programming part of tech, there's the design part of tech, there's the data part of tech, and data science and the likes, right? So for anyone looking to really just get started into tech, apart from the resources, which is having internet to learn, right? That's if you're learning virtually, and having like your laptop and your mobile phone to always do your research and build, right? You need to be very inquisitive to getting information, reading about these things, listening to these things, and you could do that with the internet, aside even looking for schools or programs to join. Yeah, so I would advise them to get started with being very inquisitive. You need to always want to hear and, discuss these things, even if you don't know them. Ask questions from people that are doing it well, right? And research for more information, right?
And that's a fine place
to look at short courses,
right?
Yeah, they could also look at short courses, right?
Okay, okay. Unfortunately, our time is up. But we must thank you, Oyinloluwa Adedoyin, product designer, motion designer, UI animation specialist, for your time on the program.
Thank you for having me here.
Welcome. Now join us after the break as we discuss issues affecting women and the need to accelerate action as the world commemorates the International Women's Month. Stay with us.